Traditionally, rear-wheel drive has been for driving enthusiasts, whereas four-wheel drive is just for raw numbers, it's just for acceleration, it's just for lap time. But exactly how much faster is a four-wheel drive system over a rear-wheel drive? I've not actually seen it tested with all the other variables excluded. So same car, same track, same driver, same tyres. So that's what I'm here to do. I've very kindly been lent this beautiful 616 brake horsepower BMW M5, which has the new BMW xDrive system. This gives me the opportunity to, in the same vehicle, go from four-wheel drive to four-wheel drive sport, which is a rear bias four-wheel drive system, and then completely disconnect the front axle and be in pure rear-wheel drive mode only. To make sure this is tested as properly can be, I've teamed up with Pirelli. We're going to be using the Pirelli P0 PZ4 for the wet testing, where we'll be doing wet traction and wet handling. Now this PZ4 version of the P0 has more often than not been regarded as the best wet handling tyre in tyre tests. So I'm super excited about getting out on this tyre. Then switching to dry, which will be dry handling and dry traction, so dry 0 to 60. I'm going to be switching over to the P0 Corsa, the new version, which again, super excited about, because low key, the previous version of the P0 Corsa was one of my favourite fast road / track tyres, which should give me the best ability to tell you all about the objective, the lap time and the acceleration differences between the two drivetrains, and the subjective differences, how the car feels, how the car's balanced, and how much enjoyment you get from driving. Okay, first test of the day is probably going to be the most difference between rear-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that is wet acceleration. So it's a moderate grip surface, but it's very wet, as you can probably hear by the sprinklers. As far as I'm aware, you can't use launch control in two-wheel drive mode only, because you can't have traction control or anything on. So I'm going to do everything manually by foot. I think we're going to get to 60, but we'll find out. And well, fingers crossed, I will try my very best to launch. And go. Oh, so low grip. That axle tramp, I hope no one from BMW is watching this. 9.1 seconds. That wasn't the most pleasant experience, I'll be honest. Just because that was so bad, I'm going to go around and do it again. Oh, it needs to get to second earlier. 9.2 before, 8.6. So I feel like I'm at least consistently rubbish. Earlier shift to second might be better. That's 9. So we've done 9.2, 8.6 and 9. So that's how consistent you are with rear-wheel drive in a car that has 600 plus horsepower in the wet. Okay, first time 0 to 60 in four-wheel drive sport. Bad shift and 4.9. Oh, I even missed the shift and that was 4.9 seconds. That's it's incomparable. Right, 4.1 seconds in the wet, 9.2 with rear-wheel drive. But you can just plant it. I don't even know if four-wheel drive, not sport, is going to be any different because there was no slip. But I'll change it and then we shall find out. Full all drive shaved a further 0.1 seconds off the launch for a 4-second run to 60 miles an hour on a low grip, very wet surface with no rollout. Insane. The next test will be wet handling, where the all-wheel drive system should again have an advantage. Right, apologies if I don't talk much over this lap, because this is rear-wheel drive, 120,000 pound, 600 odd horsepower car, wet handling. That's the start of the lap. Traction's an issue all the way down the straight. These Pirellis are very good. A little bit of understeer there, just how the chassis set up, but traction at this corner is really bad. As you can hear, I'm in third now. You end up waiting on the rear so much. I can't get any power down
this long left-hander. Oh, okay. 53-second lap in rear-wheel drive mode only. I don't really want to do that again. That was that was intense. You feel like you're on a knife edge, which you kind of are with this much power. But traction coming out the corners was a real limiting factor. But otherwise, the car and tyre combination, fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight out again in four-wheel drive sport. Already, the car feels more stable. Just coming onto the lap, the car feels like it doesn't want to kill you quite as much. Traction. This car's so fucking fast. You get to that corner so quickly. I mean, everything's just a little bit more together. This is the corner. Oh, the car just stands up and goes. You don't really feel like there's four-wheel drive until you're sliding a little bit. Oh, this is incredible. Don't feel like there's four-wheel drive until the front axle's sliding or the rear axle's sliding. Then it all just gives you that lovely helping hand. Oh my God, this is impressive. .8, but what an experience. That's so much more planted.
The full all-wheel drive lap was all but the same at 50.7, but the car certainly lost some of the typical BMW balance, resulting in a less enjoyable, more understeering package. Definitely less dynamic than all-wheel drive sport, but still hugely capable.
So there we go. I think that's fairly conclusive that four-wheel drive is faster around a wet handling lap. But four-wheel drive sport, what BMW have done with this four-wheel drive system to make it feel playful and fun at the rear, and then when you want to come out of a corner and you're a little bit happy with the throttle, the thing just helps. What a machine, what a car. Right, this is the big one. Can I match the 0 to 60 time or even get close to four-wheel drive? I can cover the brake a little bit and just the wheel spin kills it. 4.6 seconds. Too much wheel spin. I mean, that one looked fun, but that was useless. Oh, that's a good launch. 3.8 seconds. Feel good about that one. That was with some really warm rear tyres though. And my third attempt. Full drive, first attempt, cover the brake, give it some gas, and Jesus Christ, that's launch control. That's 3 seconds. That's 3 seconds dead. Just launched a 2-ton family wagon with TVs in the back in 3 seconds flat. First attempt. .9. There we go. That's the fastest I've ever got to 60 in my life. Wow. 2.9 seconds to 60 without rollout. That is quite frankly nuts.
Like in wet traction, the all-wheel drive system had the advantage both in raw numbers and ease of launch, getting the M5 to 60 miles an hour in quite frankly astonishing times. Let's see if rear-wheel drive can finally triumph in the final test, dry handling. Once again, rear-wheel drive will be going first.
The grip from this car and these P0 coursers are unbelievable. I might not talk too much, this is a really fast lap. Kind of hesitant using the throttle in rear wheel drive mode, but when you want to use it for yaw, you can, but this is such a fast lap. Oh, the brakes on this, it's the carbon ceramics, and I keep saying it, these coursers are unbelievable. I'd want a bit more feeling through a front end. This is very fast. Now, so like it's so fast, there's not going to be a huge amount of benefit from the four-wheel drive, apart from maybe this section, this slow section. Where's my grip at? Oh, there's my grip. Oh, bit overcooked it. Brake. Turn in. Oh, the front end on this car with these tyres. Okay, that's a 111.4 in two-wheel drive. So we're going to go straight back round and start with the four-wheel drive lap. I don't think there's going to be much difference apart from that corner there, because there's no real big traction zones. But let's see how different it feels I mean, already that feels nuts. See how it feels subjectively. So yeah, a little bit more understeer. This is four-wheel drive sport, but that traction's unbelievable. Couldn't do that a minute ago. Right down. You can back the car in slightly. You feel less scared of the throttle. Because the front, you can just feel the front's pulling a little bit. This is freaking fast. Got to brake here a little bit. Okay. This long left-hander's a really good one. You just pick a bit more understeer, but you can just stand on the throttle and go. When I'm a gear higher. This is 110. This thing's pulling like a freaking train. This is where I think time's going to be made up. Second gear, before I got a load of slip, just floor it. Yeah, the front comes back in so much better. You get a bit of yaw, but not much, and you just launch. Pardon my language. This is as quick as I want to drive a 120 grand car. Oh, that slide even in full drive. A 109.7. I hope that came across well on GoPro. I'm going to stick it in four-wheel drive mode. BMW, Pirelli, I salute you.
Due to the fast nature of the dry handling lap at Myra, the subjective differences of the full all-wheel drive setting was more subtle than in the wet, other than, of course, that one slow corner.
Let's see if it gets any yaw. No slip whatsoever. And like I'm pinned, and there's just no back end.
Overall, the all-wheel drive lap was 0.1 seconds slower, so essentially the same time, but not the mode you'd want to engage if you're looking to enjoy driving on track due to the extra understeer.
So in the interest of fairness, let's do what we did before. This is how we do tyre tests. We do the first tyre last again to see if there's been any track improvement, car improvement, driver improvement. See if I can get into the 110s in rear-wheel drive only mode. This is a really good test, but this is going to be the money lap. Right. See how much more yaw you've got there. I didn't want to come off the throttle. Oh, the front does just feel a little bit dartier. Feels nice. I mean, as the purist, four-wheel drive mode on this car is very good, but the purist in me loves this. I know I've said it a lot. This M5 is unbelievable. See, I can neutralize the understeer with a little bit of throttle there, which I couldn't before. I'm a little bit more scared coming around here. And the brake's hard. This is where I lose the time in this mode. Try and be careful with the throttle. Try and be careful. You can change it to third sideways, which is as arousing as it sounds. Freaking love this car. Okay. Oh, I'm just hesitating on the throttle. Across the line. Sideways. 111.7 again. So let's let this cool down for a second. Let me collect my thoughts. Firstly, BMW, what a car. This is up there with the best cars I've ever driven. Secondly, Pirelli, the P0, PZ4, that was great in the wet. I'm really glad we had a set of coursers for the dry, because these things are nuts. There was every car I've been around here, and pretty much every tyre, I've had really noticeable tyre degradation because of heat, because there's so many long sweepers. And as you saw in this, it was consistent for 5 laps essentially. Joy to drive. Joy to drive. Yeah, incredible. And finally, the question we came to answer is, how much faster is four-wheel drive than rear-wheel drive? Well, in traction, as you guess, it's plenty faster, especially in the wet, halving the time. There was no comparison. There was nothing I could do in rear-wheel drive only mode that would give me the traction to get anywhere close to the four-wheel drive. In the dry, because once the tyres were up to temperature, we did get a lot more traction, but still it was something I had to manage. It was an acceleration experience I had to manage and deal with, and things were going wrong. It wasn't consistent. Stick it in the four-wheel drive mode and fantastic. On the lap, now the wet lap I enjoyed the most in four-wheel drive sport mode. BMW have done a really, really good job of balancing a four-wheel drive system on what was originally a rear-wheel drive platform, and a rear-wheel drive bias car. That's what BMWs are. They're this rear drive sporty car. So that means anyone who moans about this car being all-wheel drive has not driven it properly, because four-wheel drive sport, all-wheel drive sport, incredible system. In the dry, the four-wheel drive was quicker, and this is a very high-speed circuit with only one major traction area, so it was still giving me small improvements around the whole lap. Subjectively, yes, I did feel more involved in the rear-wheel drive mode. I did enjoy it more. You could adjust the car on the throttle a little bit more, and that's exciting, that's fun, that's what you want from the experience. But I can't see why anyone would want to do that on the road. BMW were right to have all the, if you want it in rear-wheel drive mode, you have to turn all the safety systems off. And thank you so much to BMW for putting a rear-wheel drive setting on this, so you can turn it off, you can take it on track, and you can do massive drifts and be a complete idiot. Because that's what you want from a 620 horsepower rear-wheel drive platform, and that's what BMW is so good at. Oh, I know I've been bleating on about it, but this car's incredible. These tyres are incredible. Thank you so much to Pirelli for helping me out with track time and tyres. Thank you to BMW for lending me the car. This day has been full of heroes, and the major hero is both this M3 and these tyres. The P0 coursers, unbelievable in the dry, unbelievable, and you can use them on the road. And the P0s, PZ4s, the new PZ4s, they're really good in the wet, so I look forward to seeing how they do on the test. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Thanks to everyone involved in this, and thanks to BMW and Pirelli again.